author of 21 Performance Secrets of Donald Trump and what they teach you at Wharton Business School.
This is going to be the last year of your life. What would you want to accomplish?
Let me introduce you to the man that taught me. Leadership and performance expert.
An author who made a living off of teaching other people to be better public speakers.
NASDAQ, what an honor to be with you here today.
Business expert and best-selling author.
Arthur Clint, take it.
Energy comes off as confidence. It helps if you entertain them, and you need them to be engaged if you want to be a great leader.
The marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you actually do.
Have them pay attention to you. If people would just play the speaking game when they talk, they would have more fun, make more money, conquer their fear of public speaking, and have more impact, influence, and income. Invest in yourself and in a mentor. Amen.
All right, everybody. This is Clint Arthur coming to you live from, you guessed it, the Celebrity Clubhouse. And today we are going to have an action-packed mastermind. And I wanted to talk about something that occurred to me from watching that sizzle. You know, that's my sizzle right there. And I was talking about how you want to have them pay attention to you, right? That's what this whole thing is about. This entire thing is about having them pay attention to you. See, because like Grant Cardone said, your number one problem as an entrepreneur is that nobody knows who you are. That's your problem. That's your big problem. You think people know who you are? You think people are paying attention to you? You think people care about you? As Arnold Copelson would say, you would happen to be wrong. And who here even knows who Arnold Copelson is? Do you, Aimee? Do you know who Arnold Copelson is? You don't even know who Arnold Copelson was? You don't know? Come on.
Yeah, he's your producer guy that brought you to Acapulco in the first place, right?
Exactly. That's why you know who he is, because he brought me to
Acapulco. You told me stories about it.
Because he brought me to Acapulco. That's the only reason you know who he is. You don't know that he produced
he
Fugitive,
produced Platoon and The
Platoon,
Fugitive
and Down and Devil's Advocate and Eraser and all those movies. That you don't really know. You don't really know that. You just know that he brought me to Acapulco and that's your favorite place. So that's why you know who he is. But you think people know who you are. See, you need them to pay attention to you if you want to be a great leader. You think your customers and prospects are paying attention to you. They're not. They have so many millions of things going on in their lives right now. They really are not paying attention to you. You think when you send an email that all these people are like, oh my God, they misspelled this word in line 7 of the email. They don't know. They don't see. They don't care. And then I want to talk about what it's really all about. Because I'll tell you what, and this is very important for anybody who is coming to Celebrity Launchpad, okay? Anybody who thinks they're coming to Celebrity Launchpad. The reason why I was on CNN talking about the entertainer-in-chief, talking about how a certain speaker, when he was a speaker before he was president, he would make $1 million just to show up because he knew how to get people to pay attention. And the only reason I got to be on those shows on CNN and all those other stations, 10 national and international TV appearances, the only reason why was because I had an inspiration in the middle of the night. I thought to myself, wow, I should write a book about the performance secrets of this speaker. Like there was a great book by some best-selling author about the performance secrets of Steve Jobs. And my idea was the performance secrets of Donald Trump. I just wanted to write a book about why people paid attention to him. And as a result of having that idea in the middle of the night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, when I was asleep in my hotel room in Tempe, Arizona, because I was at a mastermind event. It was like January of 2016. I was at a mastermind event in Tempe, Arizona. I woke up in the middle of the night. I had that idea, and luckily I wrote it down on a page. I wrote it down on a whole page. Right, Aimee? On a whole page. Yes. And then I went to West Point to scout the locations, and I thought it was going to take me 2 days, and it only took me an hour to see everything I needed to see. And so I had 2 days left in a hotel, and I had nothing to do. And you know what I said to myself? Well, that book ain't going to write itself. That's what I said to myself. That book ain't going to write itself. That's what I said. I literally said that to myself, and I grabbed that moment. I just snatched that moment out of time. I had 2 days in a hotel room, and I went right down the page, and I wrote down performance secrets of Donald Trump. And for every letter, I wrote something. That was my acronym. And I just created that book. I made it all up out of thin air. In 2 days, I created that book. I seized that moment. I made that moment into a meaningful moment in my life. I could have just laid in bed and watched TV. I could have taken a nap. I could have just walked around. I could have worked out at the gym. I could have done a million things. But you know what I did? I wrote a book because I said to myself, that book ain't going to write itself. And I hope any of you there who are watching me, who have a book that you've been waiting to write, will hear this. That book ain't going to write itself. It's up to you to write that book. It's up to you to make the shit up. It's up to you to carve out that moment and make that moment into something instead of just wasted time. It's up to you to make it happen. You are responsible for your own success. And life is about moments. I tell you what, when I was on CNN, when I was doing my third CNN appearance in like a month, I was on CNN. I was like on. I was on like week after week after week. I was on CNN. I was on CNN in Los Angeles. I was on CNN in Atlanta. I was on CNN in New York City. I was on multiple times in Hollywood, in the CNN offices on Hollywood Boulevard. I went there multiple times. And I never thought it would end. I thought, wow, I broke through now. I never thought it would end. That's how you are when you're really hot. You think you're invincible. You think you're hot. You think you're hot. And then I went away for the summer, and I got a call, and I was hot. And I got a call from the guy who has Hugo's job now. Like the guy who had Hugo's job. The job Hugo has, the guy before him calls me up on the day that I land in Hawaii. He goes, hey, Clint, I need a host. My host is going to be out for a week. Will you come in and be my host? And I just landed in Hawaii. And I said, oh, Jack, man, last year I went to a meeting for 2 days during my Hawaii vacation for the summer. And I promised myself I wasn't going to do that this year. I turned down being a host of a national show because I was hot. I didn't think it would ever end. Dude, never say no. Never, ever say no. When they say, do you want to? You say yes before you even hear what they say. Yes, I do. Because I said no, and that broke my momentum. And everything changed. By the time I came back from Hawaii, Trump was now like being taken seriously, and they didn't want to have like people talking about the entertainer in chief. It was too serious by that point. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I only did 10 national and international shows. I never ever come on this mastermind and say I did 30 national and international shows, because I didn't. I only did 10, which means that at some point it came to an end. And that point was when I went to Hawaii. After the whole spring of being hot, 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 I went to Hawaii and I came back and I was not. And I think it's because I broke my momentum. And that's why you got to keep the momentum. And you got to seize these moments, and you got to enjoy these moments. These moments are what these moments are. And they do not last forever. Nothing lasts forever. And it's still November rain. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. I was listening to that on the way to the beach today. Thank God for the beach club, because the waves are huge today. All right. We have some things that we are going to do today. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to Aimee Duffy. There she is, folks. Yes, look at that smile. We're going to talk to Aimee Duffy. Aimee Duffy, tell the people, I mean, they see you, all they see today is they see Aimee Duffy, Dr. Aimee Duffy, successful medical entrepreneur, wellness entrepreneur, doctor, MD. But when I first met Dr. Aimee Duffy, it sounded like, I can't handle it. I can't make it. It's just too much pressure. I can't do it. You were supposed to come to Celebrity Launchpad. And what was your life like in those days, Dr. Aimee Duffy?
Very stressful. I had an integrative practice insurance-based model. So, I mean, I was working my butt off and not paying the bills. And I was in a coaching program that was supposed to help me gain freedom and whatnot, and it was making me work harder. And so I was just extra stressed on top of that. I think I met you 2019. I had just gone through a divorce after kind of a 5-year rough patch with 4 kids. So I, was single mom of 4 kids. He had every other weekend custody kind of thing. So life was crazy. But, I think one of those things when you talk about, I was just on another coach call, how you change people's belief. You have to get where their beliefs are first, and I kind of understand them, right? So I think when I first heard you talk at a conference, I just knew it had to be different. And I didn't know exactly what it was, and I didn't really know what it meant necessarily, but I saw, testimonials of other people doing the work that you do, and I just was like, I have to find a way. I knew I couldn't really afford it. I mean, I think it was $10,000 at the time for whatever package that you did. And, even then it felt I had to do a payment plan. Like I didn't have anything able to do that. So I mean, the other part of that is like, I was the most shy kid ever. Like I could not talk to anybody. And I tell this story all the time. Like I went to medical school because I was like, oh, I want to be a doctor and deliver babies. And then in 3rd year of medical school, after you've been in the classroom for 2 years, you actually have to like go on clinicals and like go talk to a patient. And I was like, wait, what a minute, wait, like I have to go talk to people. Like it was just this moment of, I didn't realize that I had to actually talk. So I was super shy. I would never, I was always in the back of the room, always, I would never start a conversation with anybody. People said you should write a book the way that you talk to patients and stuff like that. And I thought, who am I to write a book? Like, I don't know anything. So all this who am I kind of thing was just constant in my brain. Um, and so when I met you 2019, I think it was, and I don't even remember when it was. The first thing that I was supposed to do was Launchpad. So we got on that first call. We had a conversation. Who was I and what do we want to talk about? And I was just like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I can't imagine being on TV. I mean, it was just this. I can't even tell you what the
But you
hesitancy
signed
was
up to be on
necessarily.
TV. But you did sign up to go to the
Yeah.
TV seminar first. Why did
I'm
you
not
sign
saying I didn't know it was going to be on TV, but I think I didn't really process. Like I saw the big picture of like what the result was, but then it was like, okay, what is the work to get there? So my point is like the result was like I knew that I needed to do something different to help my life.
right?
And I didn't know exactly what it was. And I just kind of, it was coming up in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that. And I was just in this moment of like, I just can't do this. Like my brain can't process what we're talking about. I don't know how I'm going to get there, like kids and all, I've had all
Yep.
the excuses for why I couldn't show up. Um,
So
and luckily we changed the order a little bit, which I think worked out well.
Yeah, I put you into the speaking at the New York City Bar Association.
That and yeah, I did New
That was
York.
the first thing you did. That was the
Yeah.
first thing you did.
Yeah.
And what was that like for you? Like I said it was going to be less stressful. And I love the New York City Bar and those events in New York City because I control them 100%. With TV, I know how to influence these producers. I know how to manipulate them, but I can't control them the way I control these speaking events.
Yeah.
So you showed up in New York and you spoke at the New York City Bar. And what did that do for you?
I would say pretty significant transformation. That's the first time I've ever been to New York in my life, New York City.
Okay.
So, and I showed up by myself. So I had to like get off the plane and get in an Uber and, pull into Manhattan or whatever. And we met at a hotel, I think, for that first day VIP speaker training thing we did. And that was even intense because I had a speech, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Again, like it was one of this like, oh, I'm just going to show up and talk about something. And so all these people, I don't know, it was a small group, but like everybody was prepared and they're all like doing their thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything. Like still the same, like, who am I to be here? So we worked through a lot of it that day. And then, it's one of those things, I guess, for me. Sometimes if I'm not prepared, I'm not 100% confident, but it's just like, you're hitting the play button, like it's your turn and you just get on. And I just kind of go into this, okay, I got to get up there and do it. I remember being at the New York bar and just kind of being very nervous, very shaky. Didn't know anybody. And again, we're in this huge group of like 50 people and I don't know anyone there. So that was very, for my shy personality, hard to do. But I mean, you guys make it easy. Obviously, everybody's friendly there. We have all the meals and all that kind of stuff. So it was great. And what I remember, and I don't know if you remember this, and I don't see anybody that was there. Maybe Kevin Freem was there, I remember. At the end, so in that group, you had public people to fill in the seats in the back row.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And so we all finished our talks and you were, cleaning up and kind of, finishing up. And you just asked if anybody had any comments or anything. And generally that would come from like our group, and the people in the back are supposed to be just seat people taking up space. And one of the ladies in the way back row is like, made some comment about the lady who talked about delivering babies. Out of, all the people who spoke in the last 2 days and, all this sort of stuff. And like my story resonated with that person. And that moment was just kind of like, people are listening, people are in that room anyway, people were paying attention. And, all of our friends can say, oh, you did a really good job. But to have somebody who didn't even know what we were doing and what we were going to be delivering, that was really confident boosting, I would say. So from that point, I feel like, and every time, like you say, every time you get on stage and speak, it's a rehearsal for the next one. So then we had NASDAQ the next day, and I think we did 3 things at that event. And then the Harvard Club of Boston, and then I did TV after that. So, I would say, you know, especially for new people, I mean, the more you do, the easier it gets. Now it's fun, you know, like it used to be nerve-wracking, and now I'm like, when can I speak? When do I get to be on stage? Like I'm, you know, signing up for all this stuff. And so, you know, huge transformation, and it's taken a long time, and all little things, going through your stories, because part of the hard thing I think for me was like even taking that story, you know, what do you want to say to somebody? Give us an idea of what's going on. Like, why do you do what you do? And, you know, making it not feel like, oh, I just want to help people, you know, what's the story? And so really being able to now going through that process of having all those stories and then being able to put it into a book and not be ashamed of, you know, Maddie's experience, for instance. I mean, gosh, you know, being a doctor and having a kid who goes through, you know, a suicide attempt and being in the hospital, like I didn't ever talk about that because I felt like I was ashamed, like I shouldn't have experienced that. Being married to an alcoholic and never talking to anybody about, you know, what we were going through there. And I, you know, just kept everything a secret, and everybody thought our life was amazing. And now, like, I realize that I don't have, you know, I'm not proud of those things, but I don't have shame with them. I have growth from that. And I recognize that me being able to tell those stories is, one, entertaining, for lack of a better word. So people are listening more because you're, you know, catching their ear and not just talking about boring stuff. But two, you know, it helps you help people. And the more that I do anything, I mean, I will tell you too, like, I remember being in Boston, and I would say the first time I did any speaking, I didn't put anything on social media. Like, I didn't post anything. Again, it was kind of like, who am I to put this stuff out there? Like, why would I even be here? And I had a lot of, you know, what are my patients thinking I'm doing over here instead of being in the office taking care of them, kind of thing. I mean, it took me a long time to even post things. And now, you know, I still could be better than what I'm doing now. But I mean, now I'm just constantly like, what can I say today about this? And what can I, you know, just post random pictures. And then you know, the more I'm out there and speaking, the more I can post stuff. And it's just, like you said, when people start going, who you are, I mean, I might not have traveled for 2-3 weeks, and I run into somebody that I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, I thought you were gone. Like, how are you in town? Where are you? Like, you know, they just assume that I'm out there doing all these things. And it's just created this reputation of not busyness, but moving the needle. You know, I'm doing things that are
Somebody,
that somebody would be doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody who is doing stuff that's big stuff.
And they don't even know, you know, I can be getting on a plane to go on vacation, but it's still on a plane going somewhere, and they think I'm going to do something important. So, which I think it's important, but so all of that has just created this, you know, change in myself, number one. And the other thing that has happened that I talk about all the time is the connections that I've made. And I was going to say that because I've worked with Danny, I've worked with, you know, Angela from a business financial standpoint, you know, Deb Matthew, like all the connections that I have made through our experiences with you guys, you know, transformative from, you know, not only a business perspective, but personal. Like I really had to dig deep and like figure out what, you know, I've done those exercises before, like how do you want your perfect day to be and all that kind of stuff. But I think I really never could believe it or never think that that was reality. Like I didn't know, you know, if I deserved it. And I don't know if you're doing income doubler anymore or thinking about it, but I did income doubler and filed for bankruptcy. So in my brain, income doubler didn't work for me. And I was in that negative space for a long time of like, this is working for everybody else and it's not working for me. So 2019 is when I started with you, then COVID happens, then I filed for bankruptcy at the same time. And so that year of COVID was just a mess. And then Atlanta came in August of 2020, right? And we had how many phone calls, you know, 3 or 4 at least of you saying, come to Atlanta, like you need to be there. And I'm like, I can't come there. Like, I'm in the middle of this mess. And I didn't even have to pay for a plane ticket. I could drive there, but I didn't think I could afford a hotel room. And I didn't want to tell anybody, hey, can I share a room with you? Because I didn't want anybody to know what was going on, because we hadn't had any interaction for months, right? So nobody knew I'd filed for bankruptcy. Nobody knew this, mess was going on. And, but that I don't know what finally made me say, okay, I'll be there. But that was huge, because I showed up and it was like regrouping with all of these people who I had made connections with that were so supportive. Michael Simmons, not with us anymore, but just sat next to me, and he looked at me and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And, we had to go outside because I start crying, and I told him everything. And he's like, he's the coach's coach that I couldn't afford, or the doctor's coach, or whatever he was. And so from that was August. I would say I had a phone call with him every Friday for months, and he helped me kind of figure out what I was going to do. And then Angela jumped in, and, I sent her all my numbers, and she said for free, she'll look at things and see where she can, find where I can improve. So, all of that was like the support that I didn't know I needed necessarily, or didn't know it was even available. And so that was 2020. If you want to say starting from zero or negative, that was bankruptcy. And I was looking back at numbers that we talked about earlier, but 2021, I got revenue 1.2 million, 2022, 1.4 million, 2023, 2.4 million. So my income has doubled in a very short period of time. And there's multiple factors to that, but I've been on we're going to talk about TV appearance number 60 tonight. So 60 TV appearances. I don't even know how many talks. And now, I'm like, I'm sending you texts all the time, right? Like, I can't wait to be on another stage. Like, it's so opposite of like, oh, don't make me go there and do that, to be like, every time there's an opportunity, do you want to be on a hot seat here? Do you want to do a mic drop? Do you want to, apply for a speaking, position at this symposium, that symposium? And now they're coming to me asking, so I'm doing A4M, just multiple opportunities are coming up outside of my practice being successful. I'm sitting here in my pool. This is a week off for me. I'm not in the office. My office has generated $45,000, me sitting here doing nothing. I'm doing a lot of work, but not in the office. Yep. You can't see this, but you can see a bunch of circles on the page. This is next year's calendar of the weeks that I'm not in the office.
Nice.
Like, it's a lot. So not only is income increasing, but I'm working way less. And in the office, seeing patients, the work that I do now, I'm on podcasts, I'm writing, proposals for speakers, I'm doing my PowerPoint presentations, I'm, scheduling my next plane ticket to wherever else I'm, going. So, and I love it. I love speaking, and I think I continue to I love what I do in terms of changing lives in the office and patients. And it's been, I also feel like I used to think that my staff would be upset that I wasn't in the office when I was going and doing all these traveling things. And like my current staff, and that all has changed as well, is like, they're so proud, they're just so happy. And there's zero negativity about, anytime that I'm in the office or I'm off traveling to somewhere else, because they're just, they're like in awe, and they're, they share that with patients, Dr. Duffy speaking at a whatever. And they say it in their own way, but the scripting is like, I'm out there on a mission to share this message that there's another way to take care of yourself and do medicine. And if I wasn't sharing that message, then people wouldn't get help. And so it's not about, I need more patients. It's about, can other people, if I'm on TV in Sacramento or wherever, I'm not looking for patients in Sacramento. I'm just letting people know there's a different way to do something. And then I'm touching way more lives, so it's about that. And I like making more money too. It's fun. Retreats. That kind of started and then it kind of died. And then now, I've got two scheduled, and that's why I'm looking at the calendar going, what am I doing for next fall already? I have to think about what we're doing there because the retreats are filling up and it's awesome. And I'm getting opportunities to coach other providers, kind of like what Deb Matthews doing. I don't have a business or anything like that, but it's just coming at me, hey, can I hire you to help me, figure out this stuff? So this year's awesome so far. We'll see where it goes from there. But
if you want, we can figure out a more structured way for you to do that type of coaching for other providers, kind of like Deb Matthews is doing.
Yeah. I think I'm moving in that direction. It's like I got to settle some other things first, but
I mean, I invented that for her. I invented that for her, and I can very easily create that for you.
Oh, I could see it if I'm not ready to kind of go out there and market, but I have, I'm having what's happening is that there are other nurse practitioners out there that are wanting me to be their supervising physician. And there's a lot of doctors that don't want to do that, but I'm happy to do it because I want to help them and I want them to, get help with other patients. Oh. So I'm coaching them. Well, one, like most supervising physicians don't have to talk to the people that they're supervising. They just sign off on charts, but I charge a higher price and I say, we have a monthly coach session, and that's now, if I had more, it's right now it's one-on-one because it's only one, but now I'm going to have two. And then I have, other people coming at me. So it's just going to be a monthly Zoom call where they all come on. Yeah. So it's not really organized. It's not anything that just pay me, monthly for this service, basically. But now, this other one is she's going to pay me more to do practice management coaching on top of kind of the clinical coaching that we're doing. So, I mean, that's all, it's just happening organically and it doesn't need to be organized yet. And I'm not ready to go out there but by next year, maybe that'll definitely be something to consider.
Yeah. That sounds like a whole nother 1 week retreat in Acapulco for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
I mean, we have this new thing, Deb and I, so, I'm likely going to be there for mine and then stay for hers in October. So, that's working well too.
Awesome. Well, the thing that I really loved that you said was that the work that you do now is working on your presentations and booking your tickets to go to be on TV wherever you need to be or to speak wherever you need to be. The work that you're doing is the real work that you are supposed to be doing, which is promoting Dr. Aimee Duffy as a celebrity doctor. That's your real job.
Yeah.
And the sooner everybody understands that the work that you do, drawing or writing charts or intaking patients or giving financial advice or setting up cloud systems, whatever you quote unquote do as your job, that's not your real job. That's just the work that you have to do because you haven't figured out that you're supposed to be paying somebody else to be doing that while you focus on the real work, which is the marketing of you. Because the marketing of what you do is 100 times more important than what you actually do or sell. And the marketing of you is 100 times more important than that. The marketing of you is therefore 100 times 100, which is equal to 10,000 times more important than what you actually do or sell. And the sooner you can get that, and the bigger you write that on a whole page, the better off you're going to be, because whatever you're actually doing is not your real job. That's just work that you have to do. Your real job is marketing you as a celebrity. Now, it's unfortunate. Like, I'm taking this AI mastermind to learn about AI. And I asked him, I'm spending a lot of time. I don't know if you guys saw, I put together some case studies / testimonial videos last week from our experiences in Houston. And I asked the guy, well, how can I be doing that? How can I outsource that to AI? And he didn't have an answer for that. He suggested that I hire an editor to do that. And unfortunately, I really do believe that I know this material so well, and I know all the supporting materials that I have, that no editor is going to be able to do that important work. And that work is really important. The testimonials about what I do is super important, because that's demonstrating in many different ways the results and the social proof and the reality. Because another big problem, I started out by saying your number one problem is that nobody knows who you are. And that's true. You know what your second big problem is that people don't even believe you exist. They don't believe that you're real. They think that you're a scam, because there's so many scams out there. And the fact that I have these testimonials from so many people about the amazing time we had in Houston last 2 weekends ago, that helps people to believe that I'm actually real. Because who would ever believe that there's a guy like me who does what I do, transforming regular people into celebrities? Who would ever believe that that's true? But it's true. It's true. And now, Aimee, ultimately it comes down to this. How do you feel about your life now compared to back in 2019 when you first called me up and told me, I can't come to Celebrity Launch, man. I can't handle it. It's too much. I just can't do it.
My life is great. I mean, it's very easy for me to complain, and I'm trying to get out of that. But my complaint is like, it's too hot out here in my outside office and I have to go inside. Like, that's, life is good. Life is good.
That's a first-class problem. You got a bunch of first-class problems. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think you should even transform that. That's a celebrity problem. You got a bunch of celebrity problems.
You were talking about, we just got a Google review yesterday that said, run as fast as you can. This is a big scam, something. So, I mean, even, with what I'm doing, like, people think that we're scamming them or whatever the case is. So it happens across the board. And testimonials are huge. I mean, it is a big part of what we're pushing in our marketing and social media for the office, is just more and more testimonials of how we change lives. And what's funny, I'll tell you this, how many, we're swimming at the beach in the ocean, right? Talking about this 25K program that I should have. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, nobody's going to buy that. Who's going to buy that? Whatever. Well, finally we made it, right? And I launched it mostly as a placeholder because I wanted to have 3 programs. And so, I just put it over there to make this high dollar thing. So people go, oh, that's too much. And they'll pick the middle one. 6 people signed up for the 25K program, like, just because it was on the piece of paper and they wanted, whatever was in there. I don't know. And I would say 80% of our programs right now are 18K program. That's the 9-month middle program. And I'm not selling them. It's my team is selling them. So I don't know, is it my confidence? Is it, one, you've got to deliver a good product that's working, because that is important too. But I have to believe, I don't get a lot of people. It's hard to say. They come in and they go, oh, I saw that you were on TV and you're doing all these things, and that's why I want to be your patient. Like that, they don't come across quite that way. But I can't imagine that whatever's out there in the universe is creating confidence in me, confidence in my team, that show, that we know what we're doing, and it's helpful, and they're willing to pay. Reverse from high to low. It starts high. It's already high, and then it goes down. So we introduce the high one first. Is that what you mean, Kevin?
Yeah. I think so. And then Boomy wanted to know what aspects of your training helped you to double your income. I guess she's really saying what aspects of your training has enabled you to become so successful.
Well, that's why I'm getting to the confidence thing. I mean, I think when I first met you, my programs were $5,600 for a 6-month program. And then I had 80, what was it? 8,160 for a long time. I love that number. Yeah. How'd you come up with that? And I just said, we wanted around 8,000, and I just said a bunch of numbers until it just rolled off really nice. And so 8,160 was the program for a long time, until about a year and a half ago. And, we looked hard at numbers, and I was in actually a conference where there was another coach, and, I just pulled him off to the side at lunchtime, and I just said, we're killing it. Like, my close rate is like 95%. And he said, what's your what's your program price? And I said, $81.60. And I had a big smile on my face. And he's like, it's 14,000 when you go to work on Monday. And he's like, if your close rate is that high, you're not charging enough and your close rate needs to be lower. And okay. And because I had confidence, because I had done this before, jump in the pool, just make it happen. I went in, told the staff on Monday morning, our price is $14K now. And that was, I didn't think twice about it. So confidence, again, in your program, confidence in what you can deliver. And I mean, we closed right off the bat. So we never look back. And that's my lowest program now is $15K. And then we have 18 and 25. I'm about to make it 27 just because it needs to be higher.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's what we came up with in the ocean.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, confidence. Confidence is a big thing. When I was on Fox News, when I was on Fox Business Channel, I said selling is a transference of confidence. And I've said on this mastermind many times, what people are really buying is your confidence that your solution is going to solve their problem. That's what they're really buying. They don't really care that it's a purple cup. I don't really care if it's a purple cup. I don't care. I just want to know, is my problem going to get fixed by you? If it is, I'll buy the purple cup. If you tell me to buy the purple cup, I'll buy it. I don't really care. I just want to fix the problem.
And I think that's a lot of, in less is more, I mean, we did that event in May, and I mean, it was 28 minutes, and I spend 2 hours with my patients sometimes in their consult. And then Kimberly, my office manager, is doing consults now. She's my wellness coordinator now. She's done in like 45 minutes. And then she's like, is it okay? Did I say enough? I'm like, that's fabulous. Like, I wish that I could do it in 45 minutes. I talk too much. Like, don't change anything. You're closing, like, less is more. And I think especially if you're in the medical field, you feel like you have to deliver all the information, right? And that the patient's not going to understand or whatnot. And it's hard to put all that together, but like you're saying, it's the purple cup, but it's not really the purple cup. It's how that cup is going to, transform your life. And that's really where you have to help people get to that place. I bought your program because I wanted what, these people were saying that it helped them with. I didn't know what the details were. I probably would have run away if I knew more about the speaking and whatnot, so you got to get out of that mindset.
Right. And that's why I wanted you to do the speaking first. And that's why, I was very happy to switch you from Celebrity Launchpad into the speaking, because it's so controlled. And all I really want is for you to get good experiences, get videos, get photos, get to talk to people, get celebrity photos, get to come to New York, get to start traveling as a celebrity, to do the stuff. For you, actually going to New York City for the first time, that was a celebrity building experience in itself. And then you need to start getting used to posting photos and videos and posts about your experiences as a celebrity and feel like you deserve to be posting those things.
Yeah.
It's past the who am I. Like today, I just published a book. I'm publishing this celebrity entrepreneur book series based on these videos, based on these masterminds. And from 2 weeks ago, I have one that was about showing up. That's the name of this book, Celebrity Entrepreneur, Just Show Up. That's what the name of that book is.
And I'm on the cover, right?
You know what? You're not on cover, but you could be. You're the recipient.
That's not a very good picture of me, though, when I got that award.
You're the recipient of the Just Show Up Award. That was huge.
Yeah.
For showing up at Harvard Club of Boston when your dad was in hospice, dying. We're watching a video together of your dad like this. It was tough, but you did it.
Yep.
Showing up. All right. Well, great job today. And I want to create a quick segment with you. I know you're doing your 60th appearance, and this is going to help people. This is what it's like to create a segment. I'm going to open up a new document, and I'm going to share my screen. to show you share screen, pages, untitled. All right. And every one of these segments is going to start out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a segment of yours that I already have. So let's see, Aimee, let's see if I have something. How does, Duffy, let's see if I have an old segment of yours. Here's a segment. Is your child suicidal? Take the quiz. Okay. So let's see what else I have here. Book writing. Here's one. Do you know what's having sex on your face while you sleep?
That was good.
That was a good one. Okay. Let's just open up that. So here is available for Zoom, Skype, or in-person appearances or in-studio appearances. Let's just call it Zoom in-studio appearances. What is the month that what is your timely hook that you're using?
July is UV awareness month.
July is UV awareness month. It's a timely hook. We're trying to come up with something. So, let me duplicate this.
Your screen is stuck on your first thing. We can't see what you're sharing.
Okay, so let me share this here. Share screen and boom. How's that? Better?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the duplicated one. And this one is going to be undo, 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 undo. And I'm going to close that one. All right, so Zoom in studio or Zoom appearances.
We're cheating a little bit. I've already pitched this one and I'm scheduled to do it, but
Okay.
still it's a good opportunity for new people.
To see how you
think through the thought process of putting something together?
Yeah, this was a great segment. Do you know what's having sex on your face while you sleep? Celebrity skin secrets, how to love the skin you're in. That's 3 different hooks for the same segment.
Yeah, we had to change it around a little bit. Not everybody wanted to talk about what's having sex on your face.
Right. Not every show is the same. So we made options for the producers. So what is the hook that you have created for this? Do you have a hook yet, or just I want to come in and talk about UV Awareness Month?
Yeah, but I like to have like the 5 thing, so I was thinking about 5 mistakes. What did I put in there? 5 mistakes to avoid when you're in the sun this summer.
Okay.
But I wanted it to be like different than don't put sunscreen on, So we have to find some.
Well, how about if we change this to 5 celebrity sun secrets instead of skin secrets?
That's fine.
Okay. And then
she doesn't really care about celebrities, but I mean, we can do it just for the pitch.
Right.
So I can pitch it to some other people too.
And then we could change this one. Do you know what the sun is doing to your face?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
I can always throw that in there, like right at the end. It's, we're doing all this because we want you to love the skin you're in. That's kind of been a theme
right.
for a while. So
how to love your skin when you're in the sun. See?
Yep.
How to love your skin when you're in the sun. All right. These things all stay the same. Your skin is your body's largest organ. It's vital to take care of it. Skin fun facts. Skin accounts for, UV, skin fun facts, or should this be about UV fun facts?
Yeah.
UV fun facts. Okay, so now we need to find something. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to make a more general share. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my whole screen. Share screen. All right, desktop. Okay. So now I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to UV facts, right? Let's just see what we come up with. This is what we have. The beneficial effects of UV radiation include production of vital nutrient vitamin D. However, like overexposure may present risks. Sunburn, premature aging, and skin cancer are all risks to overexposure. Keeping you and others protected from UV radiation is important year-round. Those are facts about UV radiation.
I think that the thing about aging, you know, because we talk about that a lot, and like most people are aware of skin cancer, and they're even making a decision that I'm not going to be the one that's going to get skin cancer because I'm immune, or they're already protecting themselves, but not recognizing that how much it ages you. And young people aren't paying any attention to that, you know? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It's different than the skin cancer thing. I won't get up and just all talk about skin cancer. Everybody knows that already.
Sun Smart. UV radiation in our environment. The sun emits UV radiation, also called UVR or UV radiation. We cannot see or feel it. The sun's heat is from infrared rays, but it is UV radiation that burns our skin. Clouds. You can get sunburned on cloudy days. Clouds usually reduce UVR, particularly in overcast conditions. However, when there is broken cloud, the sun remains visible. Clouds can scatter or reflect UVR, so that total UVR may be greater than under clear sky conditions. Latitude. In New Zealand, the peak summer UVR levels are 40% higher than the same latitudes in the northern hemisphere. Wow, that's weird. Altitude. In clean air, UVR increases by about 5% for each 1,000 meter rise in altitude. On our ski fields, the UV radiation can be 20 to 30% more than at sea level. Snow reflects UVR. Be sun smart both summer and winter when up in the mountains. Reflections, shade, working outdoors, types of UVR, UVA, UVB, UVC, levels.
She's flipping you off.
Well,
She's on a video call right now. Hold on.
Just tell her I'll send it. It's fine. We'll fix it later.
She said she will send you $4.83.
all right. Well, we're back here. I don't know. I mean, do you know what the sun is doing to your face? July is UV Awareness Month. 5 celebrity sun secrets. How to love the skin when you're in. How to love your skin when you're in the sun.
She shook her head, but she flipped you off again. She's not.
I mean, it can be,
She said she will send some shortly.
you know, July's UV Awareness Month, but I mean, it's also just vacation month. You know, everybody's in the sun, that kind of stuff. So it doesn't have to be all about UV. I mean, it can be just facts about.
Fun sun facts.
Yeah. You know, our phones actually can report the UV index now. So that's kind of we could do something about, you know, looking at the UV index on your phone and just making decisions about how long you should be. Like there's an app that it tells you when you put the UV, you say, what's the UV rating today? It's 9, it's 10, something like that. And it will tell you how long you could stay in the sun before you need to be concerned. So that's kind of a new, to me, with technology, something new. So you're not just guessing. When I did the 5 mistakes things, one of them was about don't forget to protect your eyes. So everybody's about sunscreen and, you know, protecting your skin, but people forget about their eyes. Not everybody, goes out and puts sunglasses on, and the only reason that would be cool is so then sunglasses can be a prop.
Yeah, I like sunglasses as a prop. But where's the UV index? Where do you see that?
Where's the app, do you mean?
Yeah, you can get an app for your phone for UV index.
Yeah. Maddie has it on her phone.
UV index app.
It's a widget type thing.
Okay. UV index.
UV index tracker, sun exposure. It'll tell you where you are.
Widget. UV index tracker. UV index widget. Okay, good. So you can get an app. Fun sun facts. You can get an app for your phone to tell you the UV index. Fun sun UV facts. You can get an app for your. You can get a UV index app for your phone, for your smartphone. Okay. And then this is interesting. How about how much time should a person spend in the sun each day? To maintain healthy blood levels of vitamin D, you should spend 10 to 30 minutes of midday sunlight several times per week. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
I
say
mean,
that.
we can go into the benefits. I mean, one is, vitamin D, but I think there's a lot of, mental health benefits to your eyeballs seeing the sun. I mean, there's a lot of, people who live up where Gary lives and you don't see the sun for half the year. You guys have to buy lights to not get depressed.
Okay. And then one more thing. How much time does the average person spend in the sun? Let's say that. How much time does average American spend in the sun?
That on Fox Carolina.
Well, here's a good one. According to the EPA, the average American spends 93% of their life indoors.
Yeah.
That's a good fun fact. Okay, good. So now we need the celebrity sun secrets. And
I don't think this show does is quite a family friendly show, so I don't think it would be appropriate, but there's this whole thing about perineal tanning lately that's been on Facebook and stuff. And there's this whole thing about how good it is for your mood and energy levels and all that kind of stuff. So I'll save that one for if I go to
should
Hugo's
you
show or
tan where
something
the
like
sun
that.
doesn't shine?
Yeah.
Should you get sun where the sun doesn't shine?
It's a
Well,
fun thing.
that's a very interesting segment.
You could save that for somebody coming to Launchpad.
That's a very good thing. Should you get sun where the sun doesn't shine? Perineal tanning.
Well, I could make that friendly to say that if you are going to spend the few minutes that you can, because people spend 97% or whatever of their time indoors, like the more exposure that you have, the more skin exposure you have, the better results you get in a shorter period of time. But yeah, there's all kinds of things about the health benefits of tanning your perineum.
Celebrity
I'll save that
perineum
for a
tanning.
Facebook Live presentation.
Celebrity perineal tanning. The potentially harmful yet popular new health and cultivated viral social media post. Josh Brolin tried perineum sunning, and it completely ruined his day.
Oh, no.
Well, it's he's a victim of perineum tanning.
He probably just did it too long. It's only supposed to be like 2 minutes, very short.
Okay.
We did all the research. Ken's an expert now.
Oh yeah, I bet. Well, let's see if we can fill in these celebrity sun secrets. Kim Kardashian. Look at the sunglasses, right? So
we can blend, what we find with celebrities with some of these, like the benefits of sun exposure. This is going against the UV thing, but mood enhancement, improved sleep, lower blood pressure, boosted immune system, enhanced brain function, can help certain skin conditions like psoriasis, eczema. Brad Pitt has acne from that one, so we can blend in actually a little bit of sun exposure can help with acne. Did he go away?
hey, I don't know if my computer died. It looks like my battery is dead, and it's weird because I was plugged in and charging. So it looks like my computer battery is dead though. So can you so let's see. We have the ones for Brad Pitt. You said it helps with your skin, like sun helps with acne, right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And we have Kim Kardashian. Sunglasses protect your eyes from UV ray. So, don't feel bad about splurging on a good pair of sunglasses. Right? And there's the sunglasses that you wanted as a prop. Then who else can we put in there? J-Lo. She's Hispanic. So certain people like, is the skin is exposure to sun different for Hispanic people than it is for Caucasian people?
Not particularly. I mean, there's always argument that, people of color can still get sunburned, even though we may not see it. So
there's the thing about people with dark skin, they don't absorb the UV as well. So they actually need more to prevent to get their vitamin D levels up.
get their benefit. So J-Lo needs to spend more time in the sun.
Yeah, Hispanic and African Americans who have darker skin don't absorb UV rays as well as Caucasian people. So in order to get your UV rays, your daily dose of vitamin D, you need to spend more time in the sun. That's good. That's the J-Lo sun secret. Then who else is on our list?
Oh, I got to pull it up. Hold on. Pages. Brad Pitt, J-Lo, Kim Kardashian, and who's the fifth one? Sorry, it's opening up the wrong.
No, I just got back on, so got my computer to come alive again. Let me come. I'm gonna drop off here. Go back.